Hello, everybody. Welcome to the inaugural episode of the Midnight Show. Today, I'm going to introduce everybody by my least favorite person to my favorite person. Start with James Colley. Colley, how you doing, James?
Great, wonderful, just lovely for the record. It's not midnight where I'm at.
Screw you. It's midnight where I am. As the host, all that matters is me.
The first black man that's early.
Oof.
I mean, that's probably not true. They usually duck out pretty early.
Yeah,
in the pregnancy.
We arrive late and duck out early.
Yeah. So, when was the last time you stepped up for cigarettes, dear?
Since I don't smoke, I went out for milk.
You went out for milk?
Yep, going out for milk.
Titties.
Titties,
they're right there.
No, I need moo cow milk.
Oh, okay.
Next person is Rotncorpse. What up, Rodney?
Oh, another day. Trying to figure out the virtual camera shit.
You'll get it, my friend. And my favorite person on the screen, because these two motherfuckers have insulted my ethnicity and my person.
What, you're surprised?
Oh, no, not at all. And Angela has been the only one to not insult me.
Well, that's because she's Jewish.
Ooh, ouch.
Wow.
I know.
See how it is.
Don't worry, Angela. I will stick up for you in this stream, okay?
Hey, I am Jew adjacent. I can make those jokes.
See, I'm Jew adjacent. I can make those jokes too.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
How can you make those jokes?
Like I said, I hang out with enough Jews to actually be called a honorary member.
Oh, well, I'm dating one, so. Yeah, I win.
You win. You're right. Back to the introduction. Hello, Angela.
Hi, how's it going?
It's going great. How are you?
I am very glad that it's the weekend.
Oh, hallelujah, yes.
And I'm thankful for Fireball in my coffee.
It's the devil's nectar, lady. Don't drink it. It's poisonous. Fireball's okay. Coffee's what is killing you.
Mm-hmm.
And remember,
the Fireball's okay. It's the coffee that's killing me.
And remember, coffee's racist.
Okay,
we learned that on the P-Dog stream.
Why is coffee racist?
You didn't
I missed that one Friday.
Stream?
No.
Not Friday. I was only in there for a little bit. I had shit to do.
Let me pull it up then. Hold on.
Oh my.
James started it.
I was going to say, I know that chocolate is racist. They have an entire brand of chocolate that is supposedly manufactured without the use of plantation cocoa.
By the way, do you know why white chocolate was invented?
Oh, God, no.
Why?
So black kids could get messy, too.
Oh. First racist joke of the stream.
Shots fired.
And it's my favorite.
What, because they not go outside and play in the dirt?
See, folks, this is what I got put up with. They besmirch my character. They besmirch my race. And then they call it a joke.
I mean, am I wrong?
All over the place.
No.
I told you. I said from the beginning that this is my favorite joke.
I've told you my favorite joke, my favorite racist joke before, right?
No, I can't remember.
I don't think so.
So,
at least not me.
So, truck driver going down the interstate. He sees two black kids with a broken bike.
Oh, yes, I know this one.
Exactly. So they flag him down. He asks him like, "Where you going?" "Well, we're just going toward the city. Can we ride with you?" "You can ride with me, but you gotta get in the back. Gotta get in the back." Mind you, he's hauling bowling balls, but they're all secure. Get in the back with their bike. He gets to a truck stop, and there are two cops. One cop goes around back to check his cargo, while the other cop's talking to him. And then, as they're talking, the guy that went to check the back and his trailer runs up to him and goes, "Just get the hell out of here. Just go. Get the hell out of here. Go." And he doesn't know what the fuck's going on. He just drives. While his partner that was talking to the driver turned to him and goes, "What was that all about?" "Dude, he's hauling nigger eggs. Two of them hatches. One stole a bike." I love that.
My God.
Joke. That is my favorite joke.
Yep.
Wow.
I think Angela is offended for me.
Wow.
Oh man, I love that racist. That's my favorite racist joke.
I'm going to have to find that song.
What?
Well, I don't like saying that word to you. I really don't. But it's called Leroy the Big Lipped. And it's set to the tune of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Really?
Yes, but it's hilarious.
All right. Let me see if I can pull this up. It's a long
About
article.
coffee being racist?
Yeah. Let me see. Mind you, I'm new to this, and I'm still new, so let me go to present. I got share screen. No, not share screen. Present. Is it slides? Nope, not file. Please bear with me. It's all new to me. Nope.
I would have thought it was share screen.
There it is. Can you guys see it?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
And so the funny thing is as well, if you wanted to, you could do the whole share screen with not even showing any of us to make that entirely bigger. So technically, you could do this for playing games as well.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah. I fucked around with it because, like, if you go through my first two test streams, like the first one is me using StreamYards and I'm playing Satisfactory.
I need to get back into that one. Is coffee racist? How drinking coffee perpetuates white supremacy.
What?
I'm still trying to figure out what the fuck Afro staff is, but
What?
Afro sass? That's in the 70s when an African American woman would get pissy. That's Afro sass.
No, I said Afro staff by Afro staff.
Oh.
I'm gonna just read the first three paragraphs of this because this is some dumb shit. If you're a person of color, you know what I'm talking about. You walk into a new coffee shop and your senses are overwhelmed with whiteness. And you get the glare from the Karens. The white hipster barista lines herself up between you and the bathroom, ready to tell you non-customers aren't welcome. If you have a white coffee drinking friend, he or she may have even let you in on an old coffee joke. White coffee drinkers share when POCs aren't around. There are three things that are necessary in order to make a cup of coffee. They are First, a black man to roast the coffee. Second, a yellow man to grind it. And third, a white man to drink it. While I'm here to validate your lived experience, coffee is in fact horribly racist, and there's data to back it up. This is some dumb shit.
Oh, I got to hear the data.
Huh?
I got to hear the data.
Oh, no, you got to read this shit for yourself, man. This
But this is
Post the link in the chat, please.
sure.
Because that is the first time I've ever heard that.
Of course, coffee's racist. I mean, you can put cream in it and make it white. I'm sure that's one of the points.
It is dumb as fuck. Like literally. Whoever made that up, I'm posting in private chat.
Okay.
But yeah. And I love how the author references the Starbucks incident where the two guys who went in there didn't buy anything, sat in there for an hour, and then wanted to use the bathroom. And they told them customers only. And did you hear their explanation to why they went in there?
Weren't they supposed to be waiting for someone to plausibly like do some business meeting or some shit?
Yes. You're in. First off, you're in a Starbucks, in sweatpants and coats. Now, I'm not saying that business isn't handled there, but you don't look like you're handling business there.
Well, it just depends on what kind of business you're in.
I mean, there could have been drug dealers for all I know. But it caused Starbucks to go that whole woke route where they closed their store. I think it was a Friday.
Oh yeah, for 3 days of training.
Yeah, everybody. All the stores were closed for 3 days of training.
Yeah. Oh, on a side note, speaking of training, Wednesday when I went to work, I got surprised with training over things to watch out for in the lab and things not to throw away in the lab.
Okay.
The reason for the training is because we had an employee that threw away radioactive material into a regular trash can.
The fuck?
Yeah. Supposedly, this employee decided that he was going to do what his supervisor had told him to do because this particular employee had been written up twice.
Mm-hmm.
And the manager, which is the guy who runs the whole department, told this employee that if they did not adhere to what the nighttime manager or supervisor was saying, their little ass would be fired. This was told to him before or them before their 3-day suspension. Well, so this employee decides to be a smartass and do what the supervisor told him to do, even though the employee knew better.
So all right. So this employee, I applaud him for being a smartass.
Mm-hmm.
I applaud him. But why in the fuck did you throw away? Oh God.
That's Palo Canyon, isn't it? Or is that the Grand Canyon?
Would you say?
Oh, I was looking at Rotten.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
was that Palo or was it?
No, that was the Grand Canyon when I went there.
Oh, okay. I just saw his pictures. I'm sorry. But why did I throw away? Because I knew it pissed some people off.
You did it, James.
Damn right I did.
And you didn't get in trouble for it.
Okay, let me put it to you like this. When you work at a school that's in the Big 12, a university, do you want that shit getting out?
Nope.
Knowing that an employee threw away radioactive material?
Nope.
How much trouble do you think I got in?
You got a slap on the wrist and told you not to do that shit again.
No, they didn't even tell me that.
Oh.
Because I did what I was told to do. But
go ahead.
During the meeting, the head of risk management made it very clear that if you have an issue like that, to talk to them first before and tell the supervisor you will not do that.
Rotten, you're.
I'm figuring shit out.
Go right ahead.
I still don't have everything. I still have to figure out how to do the animated stuff like
Hellcat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta figure that shit out too.
Oh, you gotta get an actual camera for that. That way it can read your face.
Oh, I've got the actual camera. Hell, I actually went and found everything for the camcorder I'm going to use when I'm going to try, depend how things are in a couple weeks, to go out and get some footage, shooting guns, and try to do myself a little gun review, and then, try to edit it.
Trying to grow your channel and branch out.
Basically, I'm just trying to have fun.
There you go.
I mean, yeah, I'd love to get big enough to be able to sustain myself off YouTube, but that's highly unlikely going to happen because the rules they want to go with are retarded. Like I'm still pissed that Sinatra can't support himself off YouTube like he used to. That's fucked up.
That is fucked up.
That is seriously screwed.
Like, don't they owe him like thousands by now?
I know they owe him at least $2,000 for like his original channel. I think on one of his others, it's about $2,000 as well.
Yeah.
But for him to go to small claims court, it's going to cost him more than that, most likely.
And they're probably going to drag that shit out just to bleed him dry.
Yeah.
Like they don't have
it's to. It's going to cost you 20 to get 4. It's not worth it.
What'd you say?
It's going to cost him 20 to get 4. It's not worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, my tweet, come support a fellow minority content creator, hashtag him too.
I
put it out to show too.
Thank you, James. Angela, if you ever wonder why he's my least favorite, shit like that.
Oh, I mean, I could have been the major asshole and brought up because of the scene on Twitter and everything, the whole shit that happened because of oh god, I can't remember what the fuck it was. For the cooking, and they told this white girl who's actually a Mexican chick, she just looks white as hell. You know, she needs to season her food because instead of using powdered onion and powdered and like garlic salt, she used fresh onion and fresh garlic. And because of her telling them that, they brought up a bunch of, it's like they were trying to tell her she didn't know what she was talking about or whatnot. So a bunch of people brought up like, you motherfuckers, and this has been people in the African American community or the black community, have been legitimately washing their chicken and like meats and whatnot with dish soap.
The fuck?
And the first thought that I actually had once I went through all of that was, no wonder you have to overly season your food because you're trying not to taste fucking dish soap.
All right, so this is what I've learned about cooking. I like spicy foods. I love spicy foods.
Mm-hmm.
I love I don't like sweet shit. Like, and a lot of African American cooking is incredibly sweet. Like, they put sugar in damn near everything. You know, and I don't like very many sweet things. You know, why is there sugar in my spaghetti?
That's actually to counteract the acid in the tomatoes, but
Yeah, but I like the
that's
acid.
an Italian thing, not.
No. Well, it's a huge difference between trying to balance it and like sweeten it. And a lot of spaghetti made by African Americans are incredibly fucking sweet. No, I like the taste of the tomato. I like the acidity of the tomato sauce. I like lemons, just fucking lemons. You know, I have weird taste buds.
Well, the other funny part about that is the fact that it's like they were telling her that she needed to season her chicken, and she had put it in a sauce or like a broth type thing. It's like when it comes to that, you don't necessarily need to season your the chicken really at all. If you're gonna furtherly cook it, it's like continue cooking it with the sauce in there, it's gonna pull in the seasonings of the sauce, so it makes no sense to go ahead and season it. Otherwise, you're just adding seasoning to the sauce. Like,
yeah,
chicken comparatively to other meats does not pull in things. That's why to like brine it, if you haven't cooked it, you have to brine it in like milk, if memory serves me correctly.
Like again, I think every culture has their flavors, their style of preparation and cooking. And just because Caucasian culture doesn't overly season doesn't mean they don't season their food. They don't season it to your palate.
Again, she went through the whole thing, and what's funny is the fact that she's, like I said, she's actually not white, but she was going through, and basically one of the big things she brought up, like, of brought out seasonings was like, you're pissed that I didn't use these powdered compressed forms and whatnot that are dehydrated and everything like that, and instead I used fresh garlic, fresh onion. It's still seasoned.
Yeah, it's still.
But it
it's
is
still
that whole thing
flavor.
of like one of the big things that got brought up is like, how are you going to go and clean? It's like no matter what any black person does, the only thing you can ever bring up is being like, oh, well, I don't personally, go through and wash my fucking meats or chicken with dish soap because there was video after video after video. And it's gonna be like, yeah, but you can't say all white people don't season their food when there are black people that are doing that. Like, which is worse?
Well, you gotta remember two things, Rodden. The
People
left
dumb.
are idiots.
This wasn't anything about left or right until they were like, oh, season your food. And she came back with a clapback of like, this is seasoned. I'm just using fresh ingredients and not dehydrated.
Yeah, maybe they don't like fresh vegetables, I guess.
They're like okay. I actually come from a family that is very big on Eastern European food. Season your food just basically means add salt.
Well, that's why one of the things she did bring up in her clapback video, I guess would be kind of called, was like, if you ever watch the shows and whatnot where they say that it's like missing, it lacks flavor or something like that, or it lacks spice, is because it usually doesn't have enough salt in it. Mm-hmm. Because to intensify those things, you pretty much either use salt, lime, or lemon, and that's going to help bring out those tastes.
Yeah, but typically, I was going to say, typically when you make a dish, it takes the flavors of the vegetables and what's being. You don't need to see. Not everything needs to be. What's the word I'm looking for?
Overseasoned.
Overseasoned, and that's a lot. That tends to be you don't season your food. No, I don't overseason my food. Like Rodden said, she's using fresh vegetables. They'll take the flavors of the shit they were going to use. Your waifu pillow?
Well, like I was saying, my family used like 3 main things: seasoned salt, garlic salt, and onion salt in all of their food.
Yeah,
And
that's a lot of
them
people.
out when it wigged them out when I would cook, because I didn't even use like the fresh stuff, but I would use like cumin and garlic powder instead of garlic salt. And they're like, this is really good, but why isn't it super salty like everything else? I'm like,
Because
I
I'm not
really-
adding salt upon salt upon salt.
Yeah, I used the stuff that didn't have salt in it.
Yeah, because I don't want high blood pressure.
Exactly.
Like, I dislike salty foods. I like salty foods. I dislike incredibly salty foods.
I like, I will use seasoned salt,
Mm-hmm.
I hear pineapple can cut the taste of salt.
but I will not, I will use garlic powder over garlic salt.
I
I'll
prefer garlic
use-
powder too.
I'll use actual, like onion powder or minced onion,
Mhm.
like dried minced onion, as opposed to onion salt.
So when
And celery salt will not touch my kitchen. When I have my own kitchen, I will use actual celery. There is no reason for celery salt to exist.
when I cook, when I used to cook, my go-to dish was always spaghetti. I liked it with elbow noodles, and I would have diced tomatoes, diced garlic, minced garlic, and a bit of ginger in my sauce.
Mhm.
You know, the council has decided you are a friend.
I'll use ground ginger. But I actually would like to try using fresh ginger root when I cook.
I mean,
I
that's
just
on
haven't
y'all.
had a chance to.
I'm not a ginger person when it comes to that. Like, I'm a
I
ginger
like
person when
ginger.
it comes to a woman's hair.
There's nothing wrong with gingers. They don't need to have souls.
Well, it just depends on how you season them.
You got to season your ginger right.
Yeah. I always say get them young.
That meme is super cute, Rotten, but they grow up to be ticking allergen time bombs.
What, you don't like cats?
Huh?
You don't like cats?
I'm
like he has an
allergic
allergy.
I'm allergic once they hit maturity.
Why don't you get a
Hairless cat?
Those hairless cats are.
I'm not allergic
Because
to the dander. I'm actually allergic to the pheromones.
Oh. That's
really
shit
weird.
posting is free.
That's why I'm not allergic to kittens.
Huh? Would you say, Angela?
That's why I'm not allergic to kittens. I'm not allergic until they reach reproductive maturity.
So you got to snip them fast.
Well,
look, now that I got stuff figured out, when I come onto people's streams, I can actually start fucking around a bit.
Remember, you got to trans the cats. Trans them. Snip, snip.
Mm.
What you want up? Come on. You getting up on my leg. Sorry.
He's talking to his pet squirrel.
Talking to my cat.
He's talking to his allergen time bomb.
my walking meaning
Well, that's because like cats that size are always pissed because they're damn near nature's perfect killing machine, but they are so small and we boop them on the head.
We've been domesticating dogs for eons. Like our species are literally symbiotic at this point.
Yeah, cats are the closest one to have basically domesticated us.
Yeah, well, cats are technically still feral by dog standards, if you will. Like they're still fairly wild.
I say that because the traditional meow that everyone knows of is actually meant to mimic a child.
Yes.
Like one of my coworkers was telling me that like there's a certain type of cat that if like it's a bobcat, I want to say, I can't remember where, but like if you're camping or somewhere out in that area and you hear what sounds like a baby crying, it's like you quite literally have to ignore it because otherwise like that's a mating call of bobcats and you might get fucked up.
Well, you know, like you said, the meow is really for us because only young cats meow. And when they're older, they don't make that noise amongst themselves.
No.
It's just to get our attention because we can't hear their regular sounds. Or we can hear them, but we don't interpret them well. Right, Kat? All right, that's enough of that.
So, I'm a dog person, so
I like all animals. My grandparents had 2 dogs, a cat, a rabbit. I had a turtle.
Chickens are assholes.
Chickens are assholes.
Delicious.
I had a kitten once until I found out I was allergic to cats. I've had hamsters. I had a bird named Rosie once.
You got a James.
I have a James.
James isn't domesticated.
Yeah,
I was gonna say, I'm kind of thinking that James might have me.
you remember, Angel? You got a house. You got to break them in and house train them. Okay.
Well, I'm old and I'm set in my ways. I'm sort of like a cat in that aspect. You do not own a cat. A cat owns you.
As long as I never hear them have the argument about whether or not the seat should be left up or put down. It's like, look, you don't just put the seat. It's like if you've lived with pets, especially dogs, you don't just put the seat down. You put the fucking lid down as well.
Oh, look, yep. I'm gonna be honest with you. I can lift it up. You can put it down.
Exactly.
I was gonna say it's not like my hands are broke. I know how to put a toilet seat down.
No, the reason why I'm saying is you put the lid down as well is because then that's more likely to keep
otherwise the animals will drink the toilet water.
Yeah.
Or if they're small enough, fall into the toilet.
Yeah, but for the whole purposes of like I need it up, you need it down. Like you can put it down. It's not that hard.
The only time that I do have issues with that is overnight. During the night, if you go to the bathroom before me, please remember to put the seat down. Because when I am tired and go into the bathroom in the middle of the night, I might not think about it.
All right.
That's the funny part if you put the lid down as well, because then you're going to hear the lid hitting as well. And you're like, what the fuck is that? Why do I feel so much material on my ass?
Yeah.
Plus, it's actually smarter because then when you go to flush, you don't have all that freaking nastiness and debris going up everywhere.
I was going to say that.
And if you're used to keeping the lid down, it makes the saran wrap prank so much easier.
I will hurt you if you do that to me, James. I am letting you know now.
James, I dare you.
That's like I said.
Don't dare him. I thought you liked me.
I do, but I also can't help it.
He's also an agent of chaos.
I am.
See, that's why I said, like, I can still see when they meet and, like, James gets off the plane. There's going to be, like, a midget in the bikini walking around with the round one sign. Angela's just going to already have, like, the freaking MMA gloves on. He's going to come out and you're just hear, bang! go, and she's just gonna go at him.
A midget in a bikini?
No,
Well, at least I know she likes me somewhat.
Ass.
Yeah, that's to catch you off guard because you're like, oh, that's a midget in a bikini. Right hook.
See, if this was a fighting game, that would be Angela's special attack. She tosses out the midget in the bikini and it does a little dance, and James is distracted, and then right across the jaw.
Oh my god!
Special move. Midget.
Yep, that's her special move.
Midget pimp.
Oh my god!
She has to be bobbing and weaving. Where your situational awareness at, bitch?
That would be a midget, madam. Thank you.
Midget pimp. Funnier.
No, that's James' special move, the midget pimp. He just tosses the midget at you.
Yeah.
Like that's your tag combo attack. He tosses you throw it out there, James comes out of nowhere, grabs it, and tosses it at the enemy. Poor midget.
By your powers combined, I am Captain Asshole.
Go assholes.
Oh my god.
Well, wait. It was Captain Planet, Major Disaster. So,
Captain Planet, Captain Pollution.
I thought it was Major Disaster.
No, he was Captain Pollution.
Okay.
What did you do, Rod?
It's Hulk Hogan and
I
Macho
know.
Man.
The Macho Man is
training
Luigi. Nobody likes Luigi, but everybody loves
like
the Macho
Luigi.
Man. I don't like
always
Luigi's
played as
modern
Luigi.
depiction. I dislike him as a coward because he's done just as much to save the princess as Mario.
Well, and his whole thing, it wouldn't be that
But
he still goes through it despite his fear.
Would you say?
He still does what he has to do despite his fear.
Yeah, but most modern depictions have him as the coward. Even where his brother is the dominant, go-getter, he's the one that's always Mario.
Cat detector. Well, see, here's the thing. They didn't make a Mario's Haunted Mansion. They made a Luigi's Haunted Mansion.
They made 3 of them.
Yeah. But see, that's the thing.
I mean, Mario's Luigi, I guess, more well like he does have his own spin-off games, a lot more than Mario.
But
a lot of plot lines revolve around him.
Like I said, I always played as Luigi.
And Mario was very eco-friendly. That's why you had Sunshine Mario.
Mm-hmm. I wish they would make a Mario Sunshine too.
Why? Because the vacuum cleaner didn't suck it up the first time?
I mean, you could do other places.
Yeah, I didn't get into those games as much. And by that, I mean I've never played Mario Sunshine.
There are places I remember.
I have the 3D collection. So I have 64, Sunshine, and Galaxy. I haven't played any of them.
I've played a little bit of Mario Galaxy.
You know what the good thing about playing Super Mario Brothers games are?
What?
I was hoping you could tell me because I haven't found one yet.
What, a Super Mario Brothers game?
Yeah.
I
mean, they were good for the time, but After Mario 64,
Mm-hmm.
I was done.
I mean, I have fond memories of the original Super Mario Brothers and Super Mario Brothers 3 on the original Nintendo because my dad and I used to play together.
I think the most fond memories I have is Super Mario World. That was a lot of fun, and me and my grandmother played that one. So that's why I have fond memories of it.
Yeah, once it got past the regular Nintendo, my dad didn't get really into it until I introduced him to the original Dragon Ball Z Budokai on the PS2 because I used to watch that back in the day, and he liked Vegeta because he was an asshole. So I actually was way back when for a while teaching him how to play a bit.
I like the original Tenkaichi Budokai. It was fun. It was the first game to literally give you a tournament mode. Like it had its own tournament bracket. You could set up your own little tournament rules, and you could have all the characters, all the AI characters face off in a tournament. It could end any way. It was fun as hell. And then they started making sequels.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a fighting game, so of course they're going to make sequels, and it's Dragon Ball, so it's going to have sequels.
Don't get me wrong. I don't mind. Some games should exist in isolation.
I played Budokai and Budokai 2. Mm-hmm. Do you know what my biggest problem with those two games were?
What?
Couldn't figure out the controls?
Well, I figured out the controls.
They let Hercule fly.
What, a jetpack?
They started at the same fucking place. They both went back and rehashed early Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then glossed over Majin Buu saga. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. I think the best saga from Z will always be Majin Buu. It gives Vegeta's character. He gets so much character growth in that series, that saga.
Well, the thing that sucks is you can even tell at the beginning of the Majin Buu series that Gohan was actually supposed to be the main character with how much it revolved around him, but Dragon Ball Z fans are a bunch of goddamn prima donnas, and we're like, "Where is Goku? Why isn't Goku back? We should have Goku."
Well,
I'm sorry. After the Cell Saga, when Gohan stepped up like that, Gohan should have been the main character from then on. But like a lot of things, people are fucking retarded, and they wouldn't let it go, and they had to have the same fucking main character forever.
So Toriyama even stated when he did that, he literally wanted Gohan to be the next hero, and he did not plan to make the Buu saga. Like he after Cell, he was done.
Yeah,
but his editor and the distributor, if I'm not mistaken, wanted him to make more. So he followed up with the Gohan, and people didn't like. Oh, where's Goku? Like you said. And then he had to ask for Goku.
Bro, it's like Goku's dead. Like he gave the ultimate sacrifice and that whole thing. Like, let the man rest.
Yeah, but see, the problem is when he introduced the Dragon Balls can resurrect characters, he instantly fucked his universe up.
Yeah.
Because death does not hold a meaning.
Oh no.
All I had to do is wait a single year and you can come back. That's it. Like,
well, that depends on the Dragon Balls, and that was only the
Namek Dragon. No,
no, because I want to say it was. I thought one of them you could only revive someone once. Everyone.
Yeah,
that was the Earth Dragon Balls.
And then the Namek Dragon, when they got the Namek power up from Dende, he could do it as many times as he wanted.
Yeah.
So that's like I think that's where. Were you going to say something, Angela? Oh, I think that's where the modern Marvel got at their whole thing of like having that revival thing for the mutants that Jax talked about, and it's just like, well, that doesn't make me want to read it because anyone doesn't matter if they're, actually a decent. Only like all the characters are just shit character. They're like the movies we've been watching, where it's like no character in here do I want to root for. They're all shitty people.
Trunks was a good character.
Who?
No, I'm talking about the Marvel ones. Because like in Dragon Ball, it wasn't that, but it's just like once they brought it up to where, you know, any character could be revived. I think it was supposed to be unless you died again after you were dead, because apparently, you know, from what King Kai was saying, or one of the Kais was saying, is like for the people when they're dead, if they, because they could have that turn, they had that term and whatnot. If they somehow managed to die again, they were gone from existence.
So originally, all right, everybody, as long as you were in heaven or even in the way station, you could be revived. But if you got sent to hell, there was no coming back for you. Like you could not be revived from hell.
So then, how did we get Frieza back?
In the original GT, in GT, this is what happened for GT. GT, they did.
Well, GT brought the Black Star Dragon Balls, where
exactly, and it broke the Dragon Balls.
Well, yeah, they didn't break the Dragon Balls. It was with the way they were. That was when Kami still had the evil inside of him, because the quote unquote what's considered original Dragon Balls were made after he separated the evil Piccolo from him. So that's why they were more divine. The Black Star Dragon Balls had the thing that they could grant any wish, but they had to be collected within a year across the universe,
or they would destroy it.
Or they would destroy the planet.
That's the whole Universal saga that made no goddamn sense.
That's the GT one, which has basically been retcon with Dragon Ball Super, and you know, for Dragon Ball Super, since they're doing that basically parallel universe pretty much tournament, they've brought Frieza back, and Frieza got another form to where he's now Black Frieza. Which is the weird, which I'm sorry, I had to cut you off. This one is the weirdest fucking thing for the Twitter reaction from the quote unquote, and I'm actually making quotations, Black Twitter, because they're like, yeah, it shows Twitter's black. It's like, you realize Frieza legitimately called people monkeys, right?
Well,
like,
technically, the Saiyans were monkeys
and whatnot. Well, because the Saiyans technically are, because they could turn into apes. That's why he called them monkeys. And that whole thing, but it's like the one person that could be deemed like kind of your closest thing of like a white supremacist you're now happy about.
Well, you gotta remember, like, these motherfuckers root for the villain all the time.
So
go ahead.
Go ahead, Tara. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, James.
I was going to say, so now that Frieza's black, does that make him Black Ice?
No, because his name's not Ice. But you got to remember, his brother is cooler.
Yes, his brother is cooler.
The funny part is,
that
see, that's the greatest part. It's like, that's his actual fucking name.
Wow.
And he does not exist in canon. That is the worst part about that.
Yeah, because he was such a great character for that movie.
Oh, hell yes. Cooler was a great villain. I really loved Janemba. I'm glad they brought Broly in the canon universe.
Mm-hmm.
Broly was the one that I can't necessarily go with, especially like I could kind of understand before, but now they've brought him into the canon universe, into Dragon Ball Super. I just really can't get behind it. It makes absolutely no fucking sense. Because in all seriousness, with like, you have Vegeta has Ultra Ego. Goku has Ultra Instinct. They've gone so far beyond the standard Super Saiyan that in all reality, with Broly even going Super Saiyan, either one should be able to utterly mop the fucking floor with him.
Shit,
there is no actual reason he should have that strength.
Technically, they have God form. They have Goku's touched God form, so there should be no way. However, the Shonen Jump has the power escalation problem. It becomes an arms race of who can get the newest power to beat this character.
Well, that was the whole thing, and I can't remember who I was talking to that I brought that up. That it is an issue that a lot of shows have, where it's the constant underdogness.
It was me on my anime stream. We talked about that.
But see, the problem with that one is that one makes no sense. Like, all right, so My Hero Academia, you have that one ability, and that's it. You have to learn how to be effective with that one ability. That would be a better motive. What's the word I'm looking for? Premise for Dragon Ball. You can, everybody can throw fireballs, but Goku is the only one that could do Kaioken times 1,000,000,000,000. His body's the only one that can handle it. Vegeta is the only one that can do this power. So it gives them this uniqueness that I need to figure out ways to use this power effectively.
Yeah, because
instead of, oh well, I can just learn a new form and say fuck you.
Yeah, because that was one of the bigger issues, is just how much they went with. Oh well, here's a new thing, and here's a new. It's like, here's a new form that they had to learn because of this new villain that obviously they can't use it against. It's just like, where have all these villains been fucking hiding that are in this universe?
Shit.
Doing other universal shit.
Shit. Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball. The last arc, the Majin Buu saga, right? Mm-hmm. It stated that the only reason why Goku could go Super Saiyan 3 is because he was already dead. Like, if anyone else went Super Saiyan 3, it would kill them. He was already dead. It didn't matter.
And the only reason why Goten and Trunks could do it was because of their training, but they also had to be infusions. They had to double their power.
Yeah, like the bodies couldn't take it. But eventually it became irrelevant. Like it literally became an escalation problem. That's a kick-ass picture. It became a massive escalation problem. So
you know when Vegeta became my favorite?
When
Adult Trunks died in the Cell saga,
and he flipped out.
Huh?
I said, and he flipped out on Cell.
Oh yeah,
and punched 718 out of her?
Yeah.
Vegeta didn't do that. That was Gohan.
So he punched somebody out of him.
Vegeta didn't punch anybody out of. Wait, you talking about Majin Buu?
No, when Cell kills Trunks, sorry.
Yeah, like, because the one who's able to kill or to punch anyone out of him is Gohan when he goes Super Saiyan 2, and because he does that after destroying all the Cell Juniors and just because he just basically absolutely wrecks shop on them.
I'm misremembering that. I take it back.
But yeah, that's when I started to like Vegeta, because it was one of those things. Just like he found out who Trunks was. And it was,
go ahead.
You realize that he does have a heart towards his family, and he will protect what's his.
Well, he has a heart for his race. Like Vegeta, when in the beginning, when Vegeta killed Nappa, he saw him as weak. Like, dude, you're making us look weak. And then when they went to Namek and he said, saw Gohan, he didn't kill him outright. Like, dude, you're one of us. Even if you're a half-breed, you can transform. That makes you worthy. And when he cried, when he was about to die, when Free, like, he killed our entire race. Like, he wiped out our people. And you can clearly see him crying as he's saying this. Like, he cared about his people. Even if
he was the Prince of the Saiyans.
Huh?
He was Prince of Saiyans.
Yeah, but he still cared about the people. He cared about his race. He clearly loved his race.
I mean, technically, if you want to get on it, both Vegeta and Goku are princes in a way. Well, Goku's kind of a prince because don't forget, Chi-Chi's technically a princess.
Well, yeah, she is the daughter of the Ox King.
Here we are.
Like, shit. I don't understand why they separated her from why they turned Ox King into this domesticated grandfather character instead of having him be battle grandpa.
I don't know.
Because you're taking Master Roshi's job away from him.
Master Roshi still had his job. He was still the pervert.
Hey, he was more than a pervert.
Yeah, he was the pervert. Him and Oolong.
He was an ultra pervert.
Shit, they literally read Tien. Like toward the end of that series, Tien was gone, Chaozu was gone, and Yamcha was gone. They read out every character, every human character but Krillin and Chi-Chi and Bulma.
Well, the reason why Krillin gets to stick around is because his wife protects him.
And he was the best friend of the main Goku.
Yeah. And plus, pretty much by the end of the series, or most of the seasons as well as for I want to say for humans, like he can go toe to toe with freaking Tien and whoop his ass.
Yeah, but
like last I knew, like near the end of it, the actual strongest human is Krillin.
Mm-hmm.
He's not the strongest Z fighter, obviously, but he's the strongest human.
Nope, I would say he is the strongest Z fighter, not out of pure strength, but technique. His solar flare is probably the strongest technique that they never fucking use. Like, you literally set off a goddamn flashbang in front of somebody's face. And you don't capitalize on that?
I mean, on it, also his Destructo Disc can fuck up a lot of shit too.
Yeah, he's been cutting down mountains and planets. He does it properly. Like it boggles my mind how they don't utilize that technique.
Because it's kind of a Deus Machina. Yeah.
No, the Kaioken is literally the Deus Ex Machina. Like, oh, I can't win. Let me go Kaioken times 80 trillion.
Hey, we all know the actual real Deus Machina is the screaming.
Yeah.
It's just 13 episodes of next time on Dragon Ball Z.
I don't think they're screaming. They're just stalling for time. Like, I just something.
Well, no, back when that happened, or when Dragon Ball Z was coming out and that whole thing, they were keeping up regularly with the comic as it came out. I want to say pretty weekly.
Mm-hmm.
So they had to create more filler because like each chapter does X amount is like actually like so many minutes. So that's why it had to have filler. But since they were trying to keep up with it as it was currently being produced for the most part, only being very, very shortly behind it, they had to add different filler. It's the reason why, like, there's dumbass filler arcs in Bleach. There was all the dumbass filler arcs in Naruto for the animes. Is because they got to a certain point and like the anime or the manga would go on hiatus and they're like, okay, we got to stop for a little bit so we can try to figure some things out, give some people a break because, these mangakas are going to go insane and probably strangle someone. They're not going to have guns. So they're going to garrote someone.
You're right.
And that whole thing, which is why it's been nicer nowadays because the anime studios have actually really listened to what the fans have wanted. They're like, look, we don't want all the extra filler crap. Like, we understand there's going to be certain things you're going to have to add filler to, and we're okay with that. But we don't need a whole nother arc where you're trying to ram shit in there that doesn't make sense. So that's why, like, when one of the big ones that was prolific about it that everyone remembers the most is like when Attack on Titan the manga went on its hiatus, like the anime was like, look, we are stopping for now to let the manga come back and get so far ahead before we start making anything. because we're not pushing fillers. We're not trying to make up shit, then have to fucking retcon it. Like, we're just going to wait and we're going to focus on a different anime. And the fans fucking love it.
That happens, or you have the opposite where I'll bring up the Yu-Gi-Oh arc, the Awakening of Dragons. That shit made no fucking sense to the canon. And no one references it.
Well, I'm still pissed for the show that it didn't have, Yu-Gi-Oh set a light. It's like Yugi set a lighter on a freaking person's hand while he's pouring highly flammable booze into a freaking glass and just being like, well, you have the choice. You can shoot me, probably kill me, and set yourself on fire. You can try to move your hand and maybe not set yourself on fire. What do you do? And by the way, if you move your hand,
season 0.
He's like, and if you move your hand, you go to the Shadow Realm. And it's not that whole, like, it's what they were supposed to actually do with people. Because, like, what's his name? The freaking Blue Eyes White Dragon dude. He got sent to Kyra got sent to the Shadow Realm like twice. That if he tried, like, it was that one, the whole point in the series of like, or at one point in the series, like, if he'd have done anything that goes against what he's supposed to do, he dies. Like, doesn't just get sent to the Shadow Realm. Dead.
No, Kaba had a protection. Like he needed to exist. The Blue Eyes protected him. Like that's why he could get sent there a couple times and it wouldn't fucking matter.
Because like the reason why the whole like 3D thing happened was because of him going to the Shadow Realm and seeing that, so he came back to make that shit real.
Yeah. He had to do it. But again, the some filler arc is actually pretty nice. Like it fleshes out the world. Like
well, that's the thing. It all depends on how they do it. If they do like side stories that aren't important, that don't have anything to do with the storyline and whatnot, it can be okay. But a lot of times they have to keep that main character in there, and it doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah. Yeah. But there have been a fair few different filler arcs that I particularly like.
Oh, and since I just remembered this, the one thing didn't get a chance to type in there because I typed slow as shit, James, for Moonshock when you guys brought up the Sailor Moon thing is never forget that the creator of Sailor Moon married the creator of Yu Yu Hakusho. And the really funny thing is the creator of Sailor Moon, the reason why the characters are the way they are, especially for all the female characters, was because those were predominantly people that she would have liked to have had as friends. Those were her idealized versions of people she wanted to be friends with.
Mm-hmm. So the creator of Sailor Moon was a recluse, and she didn't have real friends.
Yeah.
So she just made up stuff.
Yeah. And then she got to she ended up meeting, falling in love, and marrying the creator of Yu Yu Hakusho. So I still say that's a win for both of them.
Oh yeah.
It boggles my mind there was never a Sailor Moon Yu Yu Hakusho crossover.
I'm actually kind of glad there wasn't. There are some things that just do not need to happen, and that's one of them.
Do you know the story behind True Love Ru?
Nope.
The what?
So the creator of True Love Ru created the main female character as an homage to his wife.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Wait a minute.
Okay.
So when they got a divorce, he because he created her as an homage to his wife, he had to get rid of her.
Oh.
Because he couldn't fucking stand her. Like, I created you as a token of my love and affection, and your namesake or your the person you're based on, I fucking hate. So
well, that's like the original creation of April O'Neil was in the original artistic interpretation of April O'Neil was based on one of the cartoonists, his girlfriend at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing a lot of people don't realize is like the April O'Neil is actually based off two different people's names. One was the creators knew an African woman or black woman whose first name was first or last name was April. And I want to say then they knew someone else that was either, I think it would be Irish for the O's, that was O'Neill, and they basically did that as an homage to both of them. And then like I said, the artistic was that guy was known to whoever he was dating, he would stylize female characters after the female he was dating.
Sweet.
All right. So do you know the band Colley and Cambria?
Yep.
Do you know that Colley and Cambria?
Do you know that their original drummer is a rap artist now and has been for years?
Josh Efforts.
Weird Science.
Yeah. So you know that Claudio Sanchez, the lead singer of the band, he did a comic. He like their whole
James.
Their whole spiel is based off of a universe he created.
Yeah.
Like, so one of the characters he created was an homage to his girlfriend at the time, and he had to kill her off because they broke up.
Yep. That's why the simplest thing to always remember, unless you're going to get married and you don't ever, and you hope you never get divorced, the smartest thing you can do is only create a side character based off someone that you may have been dating. Never create a main character based off someone that you're involved with.
Never ever, because in the end, y'all break up. I created her based off of her, and now I got to change my whole entire shtick.
Yeah. Like getting a tattoo of somebody's name.
That's okay. And James, get a tattoo of Angela's name. Y'all gonna be together forever.
No.
Do not do that.
No. Although my favorite Bleach character is still Kenny.
You talking about from
Kenpachi Zuraki?
From
Bleach.
Mm-hmm. That is my favorite Bleach character. Kenpachi.
It pisses me off that him and Rukia did not get together.
Who and Rukia?
Ichigo and Rukia.
Why? That actually makes no sense, really.
It makes perfect sense.
Kenpachi?
No, Rukia and Ichigo.
That made no sense.
They didn't
make more
see
sense
each
for
other.
Renji and
They didn't see each other as a romantic thing. They saw each other as like,
he didn't see or like him and Orihime never had a romantic thing, but they got together.
That's because he had a romantic thing for him. And with Ichigo, it was that whole thing is he kind of hid all of his emotions anyways.
I just think that he should have never got. I think her and Chad should have got together. Orihime and Chad. No, Orihime and Jayla Snyder boy.
Wait, you talking about Uryu?
Yeah, Uru. Whatever his name is. I didn't like him.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that say that Orihime and Uryu should have got together, but it's like really the only one that Orihime was going after was Ichigo. Because like the whole reason Ichigo went to the Soul Society wasn't because he was desperately in love with Rukia. He's like, she helped me do the things that I could do to protect my family. I'm going to pay her back. I'm not.
Yeah, well, he didn't go save Orihime because he was desperately in love with her. He went to save her because it was the right thing to do.
And he did save her, not just because it was the right thing to do. It's because Orihime was someone he did have feelings for. It was just predominantly friendship at that point. He did still care about her,
and he cared about Rukia. Like it was always a friendship. If that's the interpretation you're going to go with, then the same thing could be said for him and Rukia.
I'm not saying it couldn't be. It's just with Rukia and that whole thing. Like with most of what it was done because she was trying to right the wrong. She was like the reason why she went back to Soul says to right the wrong she technically did,
I think he became slightly over when you find out that he's part Quincy. I'm like, too much power.
I mean, they went with a thing on there, but honestly, like from what it shows through the manga and everything, it's like he is part Quincy because of his mother, but his Quincy part is so fucking weak. I mean, it could be better if he trained more with it, but
all right. So he is a Visored. He is a Hollow. He is technically a Ronkar. He is also Shinigami and a Quincy. He has too much power, and he's a Fullbringer.
Well, the Fullbringer thing is because of the hollow within him, and that's why he's also a Vizard, because he's a partially hollified person who also happens to be a Soul Reaper. So,
but most of that gets fixed during the end of the Fullbringer arc, because when all the 13 court squad captains,
they give him his whole thing back so he can have his Soul Reaper powers, because using his final Gegetsu Toshin allowed him, or caused it to where he'd lose his power.
Obviously, y'all haven't been watching the 100-Year War or 1,000-Year Blood War.
Dude, I've read the whole fucking series.
It should have ended. It should have ended after he defeats Aizen.
Yeah.
Aizen, it should have been that. That should have been where it ends, and it was a logical end point, because he essentially defeated someone that was so close to becoming God. That he achieves the same amount of power and he gives it up. It shows his growth that, I don't need this. And it should have been it. Everything should have went back to normal, and he should have ended it right. Tito Kubo should have ended it right there. But again, the fans want more instead of giving us some side story.
Well, apparently as well on that one, from some of the stuff I've heard, Kubo actually had plans to basically supposedly go to the 1,000-Year Blood War already. He'd planned on bringing Quincy's back.
But it should have followed. It should have followed either a different character, or it should have been a prequel.
Yeah. Oh, I'll definitely agree in that whole thing. Like there was no reason to really continue it after that.
It's like
I'll at least say for the Fullbringer arc, I did like the fact of basically like you see the whole reason why like Ichigo's pissed off about like really not having power isn't because he doesn't have power to wield, it's because he can't protect people like he used to.
Yeah, but see that's another thing that doesn't make any logical sense. His father was a captain.
Mm-hmm.
His mother was a Quincy. Even if he still should have some amount of power, even if it's not what he once had. And having a nice little epilogue where he defends somebody against the Hollow, even though he's not at full strength, but he still manages to take down the Hollow. Should have been
with that whole thing as well. Like it even said like he couldn't see the ghosts anymore after he lost his powers. So the only thing that would have been able to been happening, because it sacrificed basically his Soul Reaper and his Hollow power since they're combined.
Yeah, but he still was he was still part Quincy.
Yeah, that's what they would have had to have bring it up, is either have his Fullbringer completely awaken in that whole thing, or somehow have that as Hollow power or his Quincy powers activated. But he didn't learn it until the freaking 1,000-Year Blood War arc that his mother was a Quincy. Everything he knew about her is that she was just a person. Because like the whole thing that's kind of fucked up in the most is like, because in that whole thing, both his sisters should have been able to see ghosts and everything, and again, because of the mother. But apparently, the Hollow got passed over from her to him.
But see, it would have been a great again if it was a prequel. You could have had his father when he was a captain. You could have had his mother when she was the Quincy, and how they got together.
Here's the one thing that I still want to say that kind of irritates me and pisses me off is like, okay, Toshiro and Rangiku both knew Ichigo's father, in that whole thing. And one of them didn't put 2 and 2 together. Well, I mean, granted, Ichigo Kurisaki's his mother's name, so they took his mother's name and that whole thing. But when they came to the freaking human world, and I'm like, unless his father just straight up was just like, oh shit, deuces, bro, they should have recognized him being like, wait a second, that's your father? You realize he was a captain in the Soul Society, right?
Which brings up another question. Is it a permanent gi guy? Like, how does he have a physical body?
Yeah, that one they didn't get into too heavily.
Actually, they did. It is a permanent gi guy because his soul power is what kept his wife
it kept
from holofying.
Yeah, until it got passed on to his son.
Right.
Because then it was keeping him from holofying until he went to the Soul Society.
Right.
Well, that and after his chain of fate was broken as well. That's where it already started to lose some of it because it was a rapid holification, but it was of Ichigo's soul and not of his actual hollow.
Okay. All right. So
yeah, I forgot about that.
All right. So if a hollow can be passed from mother to child, like, and what we know of hollow,
what you're forgetting is that what you're forgetting is it's not the hollow that's infused with his Soul Reaper powers. It's infused with his Quincy side. His hollow power, or his Soul Reaper powers are strictly inherited from his father. And we're only home.
Yeah, but
the hollow side was infused with his Quincy powers.
Yeah, but by the end of the freaking Fullbringer arc, it basically stated that his hollow and his Quincy had, not hollow Quincy, his hollow and his Soul Reaper had combined. That's the reason why he, like, after that one, he has those marks on his arm and his neck and everything, because he's accepted entirely of his hollow powers. That's the reason why in 1,000-Year Blood War, when he actually starts going closer to Bankai, or he has the 2 swords when he go for the one portion, before he goes Bankai, is because one's based off his hollow Soul Reaper powers, and the other, the shorter sword, is based off his Quincy powers.
Again, it should have. 1,000-Year Blood War should have been its own prequel.
That or set 1,000-Year Blood War as a 1,000-Year Blood War 1,000 years in the fucking future, and just have it be one of goddamn Ichigo's kids, great grandkids or some shit.
It'd have been a great sequel.
That's like the same thing everyone has to say with Star Wars. Stop going directly at, like, basically, if you're going to do anything with Star Wars, like, that's what made the first part of The Mandalorian so great for everyone, is it had nothing to do with freaking the Skywalkers. Like, get it the fuck away from them, period.
Shit. I would love to see an Old Republic. Like, the Old Republic is ripe for.
Well, I kind of sidelined you. Go with what you were going to say on Bleach first, and then we can go to Star Wars.
Well, I was going to say, like, all right, if it was a prequel, you could do the whole how Ishin met his mother. If it was a sequel, you could do it's the children of the original cast, not even the original cast. It could be a whole bunch of new children or new characters learning that what they do. You can even have that Ichigo is now the leader of the Soul Society captains. It would be a kick-ass thing.
In that one, I wouldn't say to do the kids of the protagonists. I've never been a fan of that, unless they were already a big part of it beforehand. Because then whatever threat that it has, if it can't be taken, like, it just kind of bugs me to have it all of a sudden, like, those protagonists that went through so much, now all of a sudden they're fucking useless, which has been what's happened in Boruto. And it's just been retarded. Like honestly, you're gonna have to go with either the grandkids or you, because then it at least usually will put the main characters to be old enough that they're not going to be able to do as much necessarily, or you got to go with like the great grandkids or something. Like you typically have to get rid of the protagonists. Like that's where I still don't care what anyone says. I still say comparatively to all of them so far, and I don't know how they're going to end Super, while GT was absolutely retarded, it had the absolute greatest ending.
Yeah, it was far in the future and no one could predict what's going on.
What was far enough in the future that you had a great that you had a descendant of Vegeta and a descendant of Goku that looked exactly like them, but they're barely Saiyan anymore. But somehow they were both able to become Super Saiyan, and they're fighting each other in the martial arts tournament to kind of show that whole thing of like, and almost in a way that they're reincarnations of Goku and Vegeta, destined to forever clash. But it's not Goku and Vegeta. Goku and Vegeta are dead. They're gone. And it's two new characters that had nothing to do with anything that just happened to be descendants.
I like that.
That's why, like I said, as dumb as the fucking story was for so much of that shit, the ending was fucking tight. Because I want to say on that one, like they had Pan was like a great grandmother or some shit. Like she was barely hanging on.
Yeah, she was ancient at that point.
And that's the way you have to do it. But unfortunately, so many audiences, they get attached to one person and that whole thing, and you can't go with a different, so they don't like it going with a different character.
And that's the sucky part. So what I was about to say about Star Wars, the Old Republic, everything from, because it's what, a 10,000 year split from the Old Republic to A New Hope. Mm-hmm. You have so much fertile territory to tell unique stories without the Skywalkers at all. They don't even have to be a gleam in anyone's eye. Like, you can tell the story of Revan, you can tell the story of Malik, you could tell the story of Exar Kun, or you could tell, you don't have to touch anybody from A New Hope. You don't have to touch anybody from the prequel series. And dear God, no one wants to touch the sequel series.
Yeah.
Like, again, it's a 10,000 year gap. You could choose. You could create a brand new series with that 10,000 years. You could tell the story of the rise of the first Mandalorian Mandalore.
Yeah. Like quite literally, there is so much that they could have done that they just did not.
Yeah. Like it's fertile territory. It's open space. But you know, they want to tell you the story of the Skywalkers, and they ruin the story of the Skywalkers. Rey is such a terrible character.
Well, Rey could have been a decent character, but they just had to go and fuck it up. All they had to do in the first one was basically just have her like be taught by a former like small, like wasn't a youngling, but like one of the Padawans that was there that somehow got pushed away by their master before like the Order 66 happened. So she taught Rey a little bit of what she knew, and she just kept in the move and was just like, I'm no longer a Jedi, I'm just a drifter.
Or you could,
but then again, you could also retcon it or fix it to where Ahsoka, an old version of Ahsoka.
On that whole thing, I want them to leave Ahsoka out of it. Like, I know there's a lot of people that like her, but it's just like, just fucking let her be dead in a way.
But she's still alive.
Well, it's basically that whole like let her rest. She doesn't need to be a part of everything.
She doesn't need to be part of everything. What you could have done was have that, again, if you kept the original idea, Luke reformed the order. He restores the order in a way. Have that Luke, one of his more liberal students decided to train her in a little bit, just to see. You didn't set up. I like the concept of the dyad or the dyad, where it's two in one connected through the Force. I don't think they should have connected fucking Kylo Ren and Rey. It should have been Finn and Rey.
Yeah.
Well,
that's like I try to explain to people for what I thought they should have done for The Force Awakens is it shouldn't have been, because like when it came out, there's people, oh, I wonder if she's technically like Obi-Wan's like daughter or granddaughter. I wonder if she's part of the Skywalker family. It's like, no, I don't want her to have Finn, anyone to have any ties. That I want to see Finn be a late awakener, a late bloomer of the Force.
I would love to have seen that.
What it should have been.
Awesome.
No, this is what. All right, so you could have had Kylo Ren be Rey's enemy, but you also should have had Finn have Phasma. Phasma should have been. Anybody about ever played Knights of the Old Republic 2?
Have not.
James, you ever played Knights of the Old Republic 2? Well, in that, Andrew, you ever played it?
Don't even.
All right. So in that series, there's this Sith called Darth Sion. His shtick is that he cannot die. He is so angry and so hateful and so pissed off that every time you put him down, he just gets back up on sheer fucking
willpower.
Like that is how his powers in the Force manifest. He cannot be put down. Like when you kill him, you don't kill him physically. You break his will. He's like, you know what? Yeah, I'm done. And he just dies that way. But that should have been Phasma. Phasma is so hateful and so angry and so pissed off at Finn that she refuses to die. And that should have been his Darth Vader. And have Rey dealing with Kylo. And then the first fight between Kylo, Finn, and Rey should have been them working together. Yeah. It should have been two lightsabers that they find, and it should have been them working together, even though neither one of them had training. And it should have been that Kylo Ren is pushed back because of numbers. He can't fucking fight them both. It's not.
The thing would have to be like that he couldn't fight them both because of not just sheer numbers, but also being wounded.
Yeah, give him a handicap that makes sense why they win, or even have that the planet's destruction is really.
Or you can follow the traditional method and basically have it be that they don't win, they don't necessarily lose, they barely get out of there by the scrape of their teeth.
They escape.
Yeah, you could have that as the planet is being destroyed, the chasm opens up like it does, and it's like, okay, you win because I have to go.
Yeah,
it's not a victory that whole thing. You live.
That's why, like I said, it's not a whole that either side wins. It's just that the side that we're supposed to be rooting for doesn't necessarily lose, but they definitely don't get a win.
Okay, I like that.
Well, I mean, even in New Hope, Luke doesn't face off against Vader.
No.
The only thing that he sees of Vader is him striking down Obi-Wan.
Well, technically,
that's all you ever see of their two interactions.
Okay.
I mean, it's not until Empire, when he starts training with Yoda, that he actually uses a lightsaber
properly
against Darth Vader.
Yeah.
Which he's fighting himself.
Well, until the end of the movie when he actually goes and he faces off and he finds out Vader's his dad.
But even that one, he still loses that fight.
Oh, yeah.
Like he's defeated.
He's not only physically defeated, he gets emotionally defeated.
Well, he basically has his entire world get collapsed around him.
Yeah, I'm your father, kid.
So he has to come back to the whole go through and pretty much redo his whole worldview because everything he knew was basically a lie.
And he finds out how similar to his father he actually is as he's getting his robotic hand. That's character growth right there. Now, do I think that Rey should have been able to fight off Kylo Ren? No.
No, and she definitely shouldn't have been able to fucking go toe to toe with him in the mind thing.
Yeah, that's an okay. So some Jedi's are special. Like they have certain techniques that they're great at. They mastered even without trying, right?
That's so goddamn rare. And that whole thing, like it shouldn't have been so easy. Like, because even in the beginning, they don't have it that they just master it. They just take to it faster.
No, like, well, not that's so. I bring up Knights of the Old Republic, the first one. Bachelor Shion, she had battle meditation. Like, that's a rare ability, and no one else had battle meditation. Like, they could not figure out how she had it. They couldn't replicate it, but she could do it.
Yeah, but
Rey was similar that way.
Rey had kind of way too many of those.
Yeah, she did have too many unique, like force healing. Like, that's a rare ability.
It's like either she has whatever it was that made her able to pilot the Millennium Falcon like a pro. I'm sorry. Or she has the ability to master one of the more known force talents, or she has something completely different, but she can't just have.
She doesn't get to be great at everything all at once.
Yeah.
Right,
exactly.
This is what I would give her. I would give her force intuition. It's not necessarily that she knows how to fly anything. She just has awesome intuition. Like, the force is literally guiding her.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Well, I was kind of seeing.
Are you trying to pull that it's more like the orcs from Warhammer 40K, that the reason why their stuff works is because they have a psychic ability and a belief so strong that they know it's supposed to work, so it does?
Yeah.
Because they're actually incorruptible because of the way they were made. That's still fucking terrifying and awesome all at once.
Yeah, like they.
No.
What?
No.
What'd you say, James?
I'm saying no. Mainly because that is still, if you're going to give her force intuition, that is still a Mary Sue talent.
Oh, yeah.
And honestly, I like the way the original was set up, because if you go behind the scenes and all that, and there was a plan that the reason why Rey was able to do the things she did was not because of her own talent. She was actually a conduit for Luke. That's why Luke was on the Jedi Island where he was meditating. And Luke was working through her to get her. That's why she was able to do the push out, was because Luke was using her. And then the sequel movie was where she's supposed to meet up with Luke, his wife, and his 2 children, and learn the Force from them.
So this is the reason why I wouldn't like that one. It's having Luke. It's like Luke is piloting her, if you will.
Exactly, and that's what the way it should have been, because this also breaks her spirit at the same time, because she thinks she's fucking awesome. And it's like, no, you were only starting on the path. I advanced you because this is a sacred Jedi island. This is a conduit for me to get in touch with any Jedi that still remains. Because if you remember with the whole lore, that there is one Jedi that will bring balance to the Force.
And
it wasn't Anakin. It was Luke.
Anakin. Anakin brought balance.
Technically,
Anakin did not bring balance.
Yes, he did. It was in the universe. It existed 2 Sith, two Sith, and 2 Jedi.
Well, no, it's not actually that. It wasn't just because it'd be 2 Sith and 2 Jedi, because there was the whole aspect of Vader going through and doing Jedi hunting. he brought balance to the Force because the Sith were actually starting to get stronger than the Jedi. The Jedi power was starting to stagnate because of their beliefs and the lack of strife.
So basically, he put the wall in front of them to stump their toe?
He put stairs in front of them to make them fucking climb.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. But the one who actually brings balance to it is Luke.
I mean, granted, like for everything we know of as well, it's like these are just Jedi prophecies. So I'm going to pull a Poe from Kung Fu Panda and just say, obviously this Jedi was just a crazy old turtle and just making stuff up.
There is no prophecy.
Yeah.
So we're going to go with the Lego movie one. I made it all up. And you didn't get to hear me say that because I died.
There is no special sauce. He just tells people that there's a special sauce.
Right.
There is no secret ingredient.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Right. So how would you fix the second movie?
Never watched past the first
second
one.
movie too.
Huh? This is how I would fix the second one. The second one, I would change Holdo's character immediately. I would have a single scene where she goes into Leia's chamber when she's out like a light, and she just gives like, I know there's a spy, I cannot figure out who, and I can't trust everybody. I wish you were here to help me. And that would instantly change the dynamic of her character. She would go from being a stuck-up bitch to being, I don't know who I can trust, so I don't trust anybody. I would give a single scene where Leia is seen directing with her lightsaber is dangling on her hip, and all you see of it, and you instantly know that she's either been trained by Luke or has some Force training because she now has a lightsaber on her hip. So her doing the Mary Poppins isn't that far out of reach. I would make Rose Tico the spy.
Exactly, because no one expects an Asian spy.
No.
Unless her name's Fang Fane.
She's Fang Fane. But that too. But it's because her character makes no sense as it is. Like your sister, you believe your sister was wronged by the rebellion or the not First Order, the resistance. Why are you helping them? Like you should be a spy. I would get rid of that dumbass Holdo maneuver and have her actually give her a legitimate reason to die. Like maybe she decides she's going to pilot the ship and use it as a smoke screen, and sacrifice herself that way. But not that dumbass Holdo maneuver. Like that's retarded. And get rid of the dumbass, we're running out of fuel shit. Like, again, that's fucking retarded. Having that Rose Tico is helping them spy on her or spy on them. Get rid of the Canto Bite scene. It's fucking useless. What else would I do?
I'd have had the spy always carrying around a bag that had a $sign on it. And just said, no, man, that's a family gift. It's family.
Why do you have all these credits in it?
Okay, as far as a merch pool, we don't give them this fuzzy shit or BB-8.
Yeah.
I like BB-8.
I guess you like Porgs too.
No. But I like BB-8.
Having another droid didn't bother me.
I want them to get back the old astrometric droids. Like that makes no sense. They were useful. They were. BB-8 is so small and so useless.
That and
Like,
the whole sand thing,
nothing.
or the whole being a ball thing, in my opinion, was just retarded. Like, I could understand having something where it's like there's a few different wheels, kind of more like basically just do a different type of variant of R2D2.
You know what I'd have done? Have any of you played Fallen Order?
Nope.
It's a little droid in Fallen Order that has bipedal legs. It's like a little AT-AT.
Huh.
Not AT-AT, the bipedal walker. I forget what they're called. Like, so he can go up and down steps.
Okay. So it's sort of like the little mini Rex in a Metal Gear Solid 4.
Yeah. It is more than capable of going up and down steps, and it has all the functionality of R2D2.
Okay, this is really going to be sad, but the way you described it, I just got this really like a vision of a larger scale of the alien robots from Batteries Not Included.
Oh yeah, that's pretty much what it would have been.
Batteries Not Included, an underrated movie.
I love that movie. The movie was so
It was
fun.
really cute. Especially with the guy that just quotes commercials.
Yes.
We bring good things to life.
Which is where Batteries Not Included came from.
Mm-hmm. See, I think it needs more. I think Star Wars needs more dragons. Everything is better with more dragons.
Boobies.
And boobs.
Boobs.
Like, I'm all for the Force being female if she shows her boobs.
Okay, yeah, she can. That's right. She can be a Force wielder, but she has to be topless.
Oh,
the nipples of power. And even you can throw in a Lord of the Rings reference by giving her a nipple ring. The one ring to rule them all.
Oh my. You're not going to win me over by throwing the Lord of the Rings in there, babe.
Oh, okay.
One ring to rule them all.
This is what Star Wars was missing.
Mechanica Godzilla.
Awesome.
Mecha Godzilla?
Nah, that's a Zoid, dude.
Oh.
I can't remember which one.
I'm sticking with Mecha Godzilla.
Again, that's another story that really less humans, more fucking monsters fighting.
I actually didn't mind the new ones once they started actually having the monsters more front and center again.
That was the thing, was that what we're talking about is less human interaction, less human storyline, more giant monsters fighting.
I don't mind the human interaction if the monsters at least get equal playtime.
No. They don't. There shouldn't be equal playtime. It should be mostly big monsters and like, other than maybe a little small storyline of some human trying to rescue another human, it should be giant monsters fighting, run away.
But even in the old ones, there were humans that had an important role. Look at Mothra.
Yeah, but even then,
and Mothra's
but that
guardian.
was the summoning of Mothra.
Mothra. Yeah.
Mothra was a guardian.
Yeah, she was the guardian of the island.
Exactly.
I absolutely like Mothra's my jam. I'm sorry.
I dislike how they connected Godzilla and Mothra. Like, if he's the king, she's the queen, and I dislike that.
God help anyone who disrespected his queen.
Yeah, he fucking.
I couldn't help but say that dumb shit.
Do you know the way?
Oh.
You are the queen.
Oh my!
The false queen.
We spit on the fake queen.
You know the way.
Follow me, brother. I know the way.
Oh no.
God, dude, I still remember one of the group chats I was in on Facebook. And this was back when I was still in New Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just around the time that freaking thing came out, and someone posted one of those memes. And I had seen a little bit of it on the internet. But someone posted something else that was stupid, and I was like, that's dumb. He's like, you guys don't know. You just think that one meme stupid. And like me and another one of the guys that I knew, like somehow we did like a Power Rangers it's shit posting time thing, and like grabbed our phone and we just started spamming the freaking Uganda Knuckles memes and everything. And oh god, it was so great.
There's nothing wrong with a good shit post.
Well, it was in a group chat, so it was like it's not like we were doing it on our Facebook and whatnot, just because some of the shit with the military. But it was still funny because like when we were talking about, we're like, yeah, dude. So like, what were you thinking when you went there? It's like it's just like it's shit posting time. I was like, dude, seriously? Like, he's just like, wait, you had the same thing. It's like, yeah, did you like do the Power Rangers thing with your hands? He's just like, it's like, okay,
maybe.
Like that is awesome.
Possibly.
Oh hell! Since I just brought that up, have you guys seen the trailer for the new Power Rangers movie?
Yes, the new series. Once a Ranger, always a Ranger.
I believe it's actually just supposed to be a movie.
What? There's a new Power Rangers movie?
It's actually a series.
Oh, it's going to be a series? Cool.
Yes. They're going to go.
The thing I do like... Oh, go ahead, James.
Just two things to tie in the whole Power Ranger thing. And your Godzilla theory. Mecha Godzilla should have been called by a dragon flute. Sorry. Must be said.
The Dragon Dagger.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I could get behind Mecha Godzilla a lot easier if there was a Dragon Dagger involved.
And there was a Green Ranger summoning him.
Exactly. You don't even have to hear it, but anytime someone mentions the Dragon Dagger, tell me you don't hear the song.
Yes.
Yeah. Fuck Ocarina of Time. That's the only dragon flute or flute music that matters right there. Green Ranger theme.
I was pissed that when it turned on white and gave him that dumbass talking sword.
Saba.
Yeah, well, they were still going off the stuff from Super Sentai, so like, dude, if you go back, because you can watch all of the original Power Ranger series on YouTube for free on the Power Rangers like official channel.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can still see that how they just taped, or I shouldn't say taped, but basically just put shit together and whatnot for that series. Because like when they did the one Halloween episode where they fight the Frankenstein-like character, like 1 or 2 episodes later, he's back in the freaking tower with Rita when they're talking and whatnot. That's why they were limited with what they had to do or what they had. Which is why a lot, like there were some characters and whatnot, depending on what series it was and everything, that didn't have as big of a role as others because they were quite literally just the Americanized version. So, or a completely original American characters, they did not have the money to be able to put them in more.
Yep, that's why Trini doesn't wear a skirt.
Well, she's dead now, so it doesn't matter.
Oh,
do you know what the last? Do you know what the last thing that she heard was?
No.
Get out of the road, bitch!
That's the last time she heard?
Beep, beep.
Granted, the one movie that one of the last movies I can remember her being in was a complete travesty with what the studio pushed into it, considering that's not what the director and writer were going for. And she played her heart out in that one for what she did, but was the sequel to The Crow, City of Angels.
Oh yeah.
Uh-huh.
Because like it's actually funny. The story on that one was the whole they went to the message boards, since that's early on the internet and everything. We're looking to make a sequel. What do you guys would you guys want to see? What wouldn't you want to see? And that was basically the thing. It's like, we'd like to see X, but we want it to remain respectful to everyone. It's like to what it was, and not just basically be a rehash. And because the studios are the way they are, they had to keep sticking their dick into it and basically did a kind of copy of what the original was. And they fucked it all up.
That series is literally cursed. Like Crow, it is literally cursed. Like somebody has always died in the making of that series.
Well, the funny part is like with that one, because one of the female antagonists or whatnot was the chick who played Trini, so she got to show off her martial arts skills. But instead of doing another martial artist like Brandon Lee was, they actually made the Crow more like he was, and he was just a straight street brawler. And the whole thing that it was supposed to be, while the chick who played Trini was fighting him, was the fact that even with all the shit she knew, she couldn't beat him because she quite literally couldn't kill him.
Yeah. That series is cursed. I didn't know Deftones were in the. I didn't know they were there.
Oh, are you looking up something on it?
Yeah, I was looking up the Wikipedia page, and the Deftones were the band that played with the Deftones in that series, that movie, City of Angels. I didn't know that. They have one of my favorite songs ever, "Changing the House of Flies" from Queen of the Damned.
Well, and that one, that's not even their song for Queen of the Damned. That was entirely written by John, or oh god, now I can't remember the lead singer of Korn.
Jonathan
something.
Yeah,
but he actually.
I was going to look it up.
I thought someone mentioned it, but he actually wrote all of the songs, but because of the contract he had with his record company, he couldn't do the songs for the album. So he contacted artists that he liked that were underneath that label and asked them to perform them. That's why there's like every song in the Queen of the Damned soundtrack is performed by a different artist or different band. So I wanted to say it was like, I keep wanting to say Jonathan Taylor Thomas. Was like, no, that's someone else.
Home Improvement.
Yeah. Or Young Simba.
Yeah.
Or from the one weird movie he was in, I think with Chevy Chase, where he was like the steps, where it's like Chevy Chase stepdad or some shit.
Aren't you talking about? Okay, never mind. That wasn't what you were talking about.
Juggle.
Say,
really?
I don't think that was it.
No,
wasn't
this is
he
kind
in
of kick-ass.
Gryffindor's tribe?
I was saying this is kick-ass. This song in the Change of the House of Flies was in Little Nicky, Queen of the Damned, Dragon Ball Z, Cooler's Revenge. Like, I did not know that.
And that's why, like I said, why do I want to say it was Jonathan Davis is the lead singer of Korn?
Let me look it up really quick since I'm on it.
But yeah, from everything I can remember, that whole thing was originally written by him. That's why when it's sung in when the songs are sung in Queen of the Damned, it's him.
Jonathan Davis.
Yeah, Jonathan Davis sang everything for the movie, but when it came to the actual album to be able to drop, he couldn't do that because of his contract with the label that he had. He couldn't be on that whole thing, so he had to. I shouldn't say he had to. He contacted others to see if they would want to do it for him. Which is why, if you look at the album, you have one that was done by the Deftones, one that's done by Marilyn Manson, one that's done by Disturbed, and so on, etc.
Do you know what my favorite Korn song is?
Clown.
Oh fuck, what is it? Push the Transistor, because of the video. You put Snoop Dogg, Lil Wayne in a metal group. It was hilarious.
My favorite song of theirs is "Coming Undone." That is my favorite song of theirs. I didn't know he did a collaboration with the Infected Mushrooms.
What, Jonathan Davis?
Yep.
Yeah, he went around to a lot of things. Do you know how I got over? Like, because I can't remember where I saw it in the whole thing. It might have been ARTV, but he got over his one of his drug addictions by basically just predominantly sleeping in the RV for like a week while they were touring.
Shit, he wrote the theme music to USPN's Twilight Zone. In 2002, Davis was hired by New Line Television to write and record the theme music of UPN's The Twilight Zone television show hosted by Forrest Whitaker.
Damn.
He recorded the original songs with Korn for the game Haze. Konami hired him to compose the theme song of the video game Silent Hill Downpour. And he recorded the title track of 22's Elix 2 game, video game Elix 2. He created the title track.
UPN, nobody watch.
Yeah.
That's how some artists are, is they just go through and they do a lot of shit, and because of what they do, they're able to, or they get more works that way.
All right, here it is. Here it is. It's in the early 2000s, while on tour, Davis was looking for artistic hobbies to satisfy his creative impulses and decided to team up with composer Richie Gibbs to write film tracks. Davis and Gibbs were introduced to each other through Zumba Music Group, which published their respective music at the time. Shortly after, Warner Brothers asked them to work on the movie Queen of the Dam, an adaptation of Anne Rice's third novel of the Vampire Chronicles, and the sequel to 94's Interview with a Vampire. 10 songs will be composed by those two men, but only 5 have been kept. Those songs include System, Redeemer, Forsaken, Slept for So Long, and Not Meant for Me, which was sung by the band the Lestat the Vampire in the movie. While Davis's voice can be heard performing the songs in the movie through singing, he was the singing voice of Lestat. That's kick-ass. Contractual obligation kept his vocals from appearing on the soundtrack albums released in 2022. Aaliyah, who died. Oh shit, she recorded a duet with Davis. So he didn't do that one, but he did 5 songs. He did 5 songs. He did System, Redeemer, Forsaken, Sleep for So Long, and Not Meant for Me. And he was the voice of Lestat. He was Lestat's singing voice.
Yeah, I said that already.
Yeah, that's kick ass.
Yeah.
Like that.
I mean, that's actually a pretty common thing, apparently, even in Disney, because of something I saw somewhere. If you've ever seen, apparently, the High School Musical movies, the one dude, I think it's Troy or whatever the fuck his name is, he actually doesn't sing. He can't sing that well, and they had someone else singing for him.
Do you?
That's part of the reason why Flute Girl didn't sing in Buffy. Allison Hannigan, because she can't sing.
You can't sing well.
Yeah.
Anybody can sing.
But
some people just sound like a dying cat.
It's still singing.
That's why I said it's just they can't sing well.
Some people can. All right, so sing. We can all when we all sing in a choir. It doesn't matter who can sing if we're all singing together.
But I don't know. Have you ever been in a choir with a whole bunch of downsies?
No.
Help me on the name.
I was waiting for you to say deaf people, but okay.
James, why do you attempt to hurt me so?
There's actually from what I okay, this is gonna sound lame. There's actually, from what I hear, a deaf band that is actually quite good called Beethoven's Nightmare.
Really?
Yes.
I mean, Beethoven was a good musician. He was deaf as a post.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and the Jonathan Taylor Thomas Chevy Chase movie is Man of the House.
That was it.
I wonder what John Taylor Thomas is doing these days.
Hi, welcome to Walmart.
Hey, hi, welcome to Walmart. Can I get you anything?
It's called The Art of War. Why are there no drawings?
God, he's 41. Shit, time has flown.
I know, right? I'm like, he's the same age as my brother. That's disturbing.
Yeah, he was pretty popular when I was a kid in that whole thing, and there were so many dudes that had that fucking haircut that the three brothers had for the longest time.
The bowl cut.
Douchebaggery.
The weird ass bowl cut to where it kind of had the bangs falling in front of your face, but in that weird ass oval circle type shape.
Yeah, that was creepy.
Duke Nukem is still the most hardcore gangster of all time.
Duke Nukem needs. They did my boy Duke wrong.
And you're surprised?
They did him dirty.
The game was way too short.
I'm talking about the Duke Nukem Forever was just a terrible, terrible mess.
Yeah, and it was way too short.
Honestly, at that point, they should have either just waited and tried to get all the bugs out they could have, or just said, look, this game is way too fucked for us to release it, and we cannot in good conscience release a game this bad that you guys have waited for. We know that you want that, so we're going to continue try working on it. But if we can't get going, we're just going to let it die.
All right, so it's the problem of too many chefs and over seasoning.
Oh, you didn't want to go with the classic, slightly racist one of too many chiefs and not enough engines?
Fine, too many chiefs and not enough brains.
Johnny, get a blanket. Cover your ears. Don't listen.
You know, but that was the issue with that game. So you had too many developers touching it, and then eventually it got into another developer's hands. And a lot of these new ones were trend chasers.
Well, you had that. Then you also have, like, because it's in a new developer, they want to get rid of some of the shit that, like, they didn't approve.
Yeah. Like, Duke Nukem could not be made today. Like, Duke Nukem is a dead series. Like,
Oh, yeah.
No matter what you do, it's dead.
Well, you could change Duke Nukem to be a simulated game. Call it the Man Simulator.
Have you ever heard of
How
a game
to find
called
your
Quippers?
balls in 8 fucking levels.
I've got balls of steel.
I'm
That's
here to
level
chew
9.
bubble gum and kick ass. I'm
All out of bubble gum. Do you know what got me interested in Duke Nukem?
What?
The first line in the original game. I've never heard a video game cuss before. And then I rented the Sega Dreamcast from Blockbuster. And I didn't really care for first-person shooters, but that was pretty much the game that came with it when you rented it from Blockbuster. So I got that, and then Bomb Squad or some kind of thing where you're supposed to stop a like Blast Corps or something like that.
Okay.
But anywho, I put in Duke Nukem, after it loads and all that, the first line is, "Damn those alien bastards! They ruined my ride." And I'm going, "Oh fuck!" And then he goes into any chick that he comes up to, he hands money to and says, "Shake it, baby." And I'm going, "I like this."
That's
And it was
what got me.
pixelated.
So, have you ever played the original Grand Theft Auto?
The original what?
Grand Theft Auto.
No.
The I played the original Grand Theft Auto, and I love the concept. You weren't the hero. You were the villain. You were the thief. You were the killer. And you could do whatever the hell you wanted. And it was fucking awesome. And
You could do it you can still do it in 5.
Huh?
You can still do that in 5 because you aren't the hero. You're either a meth head, a retired thief, or a thug trying to make it.
All right, so I started hating everything after Vice City.
I'll be back.
Huh?
Welcome
I said
back.
I'll be back. I'll
Okay.
be back.
Oh,
I hated everything after Vice City because it became too melodramatic.
Oh no, 5 wasn't all that melodramatic. If you take all 3, if you go to the end of the story run, there is no good ending for each of those characters.
They all get fucked over in the end.
Oh yeah. I mean, but really, when you think about it, when you've got a pissed off meth head as one of your main characters, nothing good is going to happen. And to find out, he finds out that he's double crossed. Which is his whole interaction with the retired thief. You know? There are no good characters in 5.
I mean,
but although you do get the best line in from Franklin and his homie.
Nigga.
Oh well, I was going to say, the whole. I was going to go with the whole employee of the month thing.
Oh, what is it? I haven't played 5.
Okay, see, the same guy that said that sings nigga. Anywho, before that, he says, "I don't care what kind of award it is. There's only one. There's first place, and then there's me, and then there's y'all." Says, "I want it because that means I'm the best, and it's mine." Basically, yeah. But
Phenomena.
No. I think my favorite random gibberish song is yeah, huh? From Sesame Street, the aliens. That's my favorite little, huh?
What?
All right, I think I'm gonna be wrapping up this inaugural episode. I'm getting sleepy.
Sleepy?
Well, I have work in the morning.
I got church.
Oh yeah. I got a phone.
Okay.
Okay, so there's thread. That just means I'm going to go back to listen to other stuff and whatnot, and I got to sew up these sleeves that I just took part of the sleeve off.
Why?
Okay.
Because I hate the elastic in a lot of freaking sweaters and whatnot.
I do not blame you.
Because a lot of times I'll slide that shit up my arms and it just gets annoying after a while.
Mm-hmm.
And because of the way they go, you got to go through and re-sew where the sleeve makes its circle.
So you have to restitch it.
Yep.
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 Call back.
All right. Ugh.
Well, it's been fun listening to you guys.
Hey, I'm just glad I for the most part, got the whole OBS thing figured out.
I'm going to have to see if I can do that too.
Well, it's when you bring, I can explain it later on and whatnot on Discord sometime.
Okay. That would be fun.
Yes. Put on a clinical for us. Teach me, Daddy. Teach me.
Okay.
Wait,
Love me, Daddy. Love me.
That sounded creepy, didn't it?
That got a little weird.
Okay, let me make it less creepy. Ooh woo. Ooh woo.
Did you just ooh woo? James was banned from my screen.
I was going to say, James, the way you said "teach me that," it's like, wow, you sound like you said that to another grown man before, and not ironically.
Well, I was 7 at the time, so.
Yeah, whatever.
No, you
That's
sound like you said that as a grown man to another grown man, not ironically.
Oh no. Well, I was young and
it's okay. It's the current year. It's accepted.
I was young and needed the money.
I don't share. I don't care what gender they are. Thank you.
That's it, Angel. State your claim. James, straight up fly right.
She hasn't peed on me yet. She hasn't taken ownership.
Okay, ew and no.
James, for the rules, she had to pee on you for you to be hers.
Ew.
Andrew, get on it.
No.
And Jared says, after you're done, say, "Oh, what a lovely tea party."
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh my God. James, stop.
Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
James, you're killing me. Keep it up.
I guess you haven't seen Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, have you?
Oh, I've seen that. I know exactly.
I haven't seen that one.
So you knew exactly what I was talking about, Rotten.
Yep.
I haven't seen any. The only James Silent Bob movies I've seen was Clerks and Clerks 2.
You never saw
You never saw Dogma?
Nope.
Oh. Wow.
Oh my God, that's a classic.
Oh Lord. What have I unleashed?
Well, Dogma, it also has Alan Rickman in it.
Oh yeah.
And Chris Rock as an angel.
Nope, Chris Rock is it. No, Alan Rickman is an angel.
Oh yeah,
Chris Rock
right.
is a prophet.
Chris Rock was one of the apostles.
Okay. One of these days I'd have to look at it.
Well,
yeah.
We can always.
I love Alan Rickman when you first meet him. Who are you? Fucking pissed off is what I am.
Being not afraid, I am the Metatron. That was his first words.
Mm-hmm.
So what are we watching tonight on
Well, we could continue with Birdie, or we could take a break, and I'm pretty sure I have Dogma if you want to go through that.
Oh, I would love to watch Dogma.
All right, then we'll do one more actual palate cleanser because of just the chaosness of last week, and we'll go for something actually fun.
Okay.
Yay.
Terrible people.
Thank you.
Oh Lord.
Oh, I got no issue with it. I like the movie, and that's like, it's, you can still tell that there's like SJW-ness and whatnot from Kevin Smith, but it's not near as bad as it is like today.
Or
Fuck Kevin Smith. He's fallen from grace. He's no longer the king of the nerds.
He never was.
Well, true, he was never, but still.
It may be SJWE, but I gotta love that Alanis Morissette is God.
Don't spoil too much.
Okay, I have something to look forward to tonight.
And that one wasn't SJW. That's been a lot of things. I mean, a lot of the other shit he's done since then. Sorry, I heard a door open. I didn't know if it was mine. I was like, am I gonna have to shoot someone?
No, not on stream, and not if you don't live stream it for me.
Hey man, it's freaking self-defense in my situation.
They open your door.
Your ground.
You gonna hear me? They're coming right at us.
They're coming right for us.
Stand your ground and stand on his ground.
All right, let me try out my first shilling. All right. You can find James Colley doing his own stream on Saturday afternoons, correct?
Yes.
You can also find him on Rotten Stream with myself and Angela Sunday nights. We watch movies, we do reviews. Angela, where can I find you?
Hanging out with you guys.
Trey.
Oh,
Also
and I'm going to be on
tomorrow.
Quippers tomorrow.
That's what.
I totally forgot. There's no one fucking listening, but I'm still going to try my show. That you guys are going to be on Clippers with Gunsky, Frosted Glass, Pendragon.
No, Terry Diamandis.
Taribot.
I'm not sure if Pendragon's going to be on this week or not.
Okay. Well, Taribot's going to be on there, and who else? Who else is a regular?
I'm a regular.
Regulars, James, Frosted, Terry, Jack.
Okay.
Those are the regulars.
And you just pop on every so often. Angela.
When I am off on a Sunday.
Okay. Are you going to be? You're on tonight.
I will be there tomorrow. Well, for me, it's still tomorrow.
Yeah. Rotten, you'll be on there too?
Negative. Not unless he needs another person. I happen to have gotten back from the gym by then.
Okay.
Tomorrow is chest and triceps.
Work it out, my friend.
I hope you can make it.
And I think
it would be nice to play with you.
I think I tried to make this a regular thing. I like doing this. Just shoot.
Well, that's why, like I said, and I want to say for StreamYards, you get like 20 hours a month. So if we're doing it every Saturday for 2 to 3 hours, that's not going to kill it. Mm-hmm. Unless you want to do the whole pay for it, which I don't know how much it is per month.
It's about 25. It is not going. It's not going to break a bank.
Yeah, that's on you and that whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because then you can go through and do the shit like Monkey and them do, and even P-Dog when he has people that he gets on that way.
Again, $20, $25 isn't going to make or break my bank.
Like I said, that's all on you. I'm just a cheap bastard, and I am a bastard by definition.
So am I. All right, my friends. Any last words? Anything y'all want to say?
Have a good night. Sweet dreams, everybody.
All right. Like, share, subscribe if you're listening. Bye-bye.
If you listen in the future, realize that we're a bunch of degenerates.
We are degenerates. Proud degenerates.
Degenerate light, but okay.
I'm degenerate adjacent.
There you go, degenerate adjacent.
No, you are degenerate.
Okay. And this is one better. You're in love with a fellow degenerate, so you're kind of.
You're not a degenerate. You're degenerate-ish.
Yeah, you're a degenerate. You're a degenerate lover. There you go. Like James is one of us.
Okay, I'll take that.
One of us.
Google gobble. Google gobble.
All right, I'm closing the broadcast. All right, let's do this.